Hello, everyone. So I'm just coming off of a long weekend on my own, no help, and we had some issues to deal with. Like Heather on the toilet the other day, she didn't faint, but she had a hard time getting up. I could tell if I had pushed her to get up, she would have fainted. I could tell that, and then she vomited a little bit. So this fainting stuff has come up a few times, and I've had a number of people make suggestions that take her to the ER immediately, and then it's likely a cardiac issue, and on and on and on. But I don't think any of that stuff is accurate. And I'm no doctor, but I'm old enough to have seen a few medical issues come and go. And somebody pointed me towards an article. It is by the National Library of Medicine in the U.S. And the title of the article is Neurocardiovascular Instability in Cognitive Impairment and Dementia. And I read this article, it's a research paper, and everything fits. And so what they talk about is orthostatic hypotension, which is loss of blood pressure or lowering of blood pressure through movement, which is exactly what happens with Heather. It's when she stands up too quickly, as happens with all of us, I think, from time to time. You stand up too quickly and you get lightheaded. So this is a feature of dementia, I guess, orthostatic hypotension. And then there's a vasovagal syndrome that connects with it too. It's called syncope. And I think that's why she has fainted a few times, not many times, 4 or 5 times in, I would say, 3 years. It's enough to sit up and pay attention. So she has a doctor's appointment in November. I'm going to bring this article with me. I'm usually reluctant to try to, tell a doctor what's going on medically. Like, who am I? I don't have an MD. I don't even have a science degree. So, but in this case, I think I will bring it to her because it's such a niche bit of information, and she may appreciate it. So I think it's orthostatic hypotension, and this it is vasovagal syncope. So, and I'm reading this article. Everything lines up with it. They say it's common carotid sinus syndrome and neurocardiovascular instability in dementia, and even alterations in the reflex function, which would tie into that. I think maybe the little bit of vomiting the other day, or maybe that was related to the strong curry I made for supper the night before. Anyways, okay, there's enough of that. So, like I said, it was a long weekend. I think I'll do another little video just describing an idea that came to me at 3 o'clock in the morning last night. Excuse me. About why I found the weekend so difficult. And it's why I have to really try to limit the let's say obligations, or limit things that I do. I have to keep it simple, stupid. I can't take on extra projects. I have to really keep things straightforward, because when a hiccup happens, like last week, the washing machine broke. It can be a major calamity. I don't know what's coming tomorrow or the next week. I don't know what's coming, but things will happen in life, and I can't do things. I can't do extra things. I have to be a caregiver, or not. I mean, as a caregiver, it's fully engaging, and I'm preoccupied with that stuff. So I'll do another little video on one of my theories, one of my ideas, and I hope you enjoy it. So other than that, I'm going to turn this phone around so we can look around. I'm upstairs in the house, where I go when Risa comes, and I crawl up here and I do some stuff online. I've got a coffee maker here, and let's just have a quick look outside. There's a deck here. So look at this. This is I don't know if it's late summer or early fall in Halifax, but the weather is just absolutely stunning. We had a bit of rain yesterday, but now it's just warm. In our terms, it's warm. I'd say it's probably 13, 14 degrees Celsius, maybe 15, and it will probably go up to 18 or 20 today. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. You can figure it out. But it's pretty comfortable. So that is my story for this morning. Hang on, here comes my theory. Okay, so you heard about my YANA, of course, and Meow Meow, and the caregiver equilibrium recovery ratio. If you haven't, they're in my previous videos, and I don't know, if I have time I'll link them below, but for now let's just say these are my theories or my ideas about caregiving. I don't know what the right term is. So I have another one here. This came to me at 3 o'clock in the morning last night. I woke up thinking about this stuff. Nuts. I should be sleeping, but so I actually picked up my phone and quickly made a note about it so that I would remember it. And it's the basketball principle of stress and caregiving. And I'll try to describe it here. I'm just going to wing it. I don't have a script written out. I haven't given it a lot of thought, so I'll just try to describe it in some kind of a coherent fashion as I go forward. So think of it this way. Okay, so everybody in your normal life, non-caregivers, let's say, people who are just carrying on life, you're carrying around a ball of your things you worry about, things you think about, your key components of your personality and your psyche. And this would be your introversion, extroversion, stressors, on and on. Everybody carries around this ball. Well, when you're a caregiver, I think that ball is more of a basketball. Especially, I'm speaking only about myself as a spousal caregiver. I've got a ball this big. Okay, it's more like a medicine ball. And the reason it's bigger is that now it has a constant churning of anxiety in there. I don't really have a good descriptor of where that anxiety comes from, but it's about loss and stress and change and all of that stuff. So there's anxiety, but there's also grief, because as a spousal caregiver in my situation, my wife is dying before my eyes. I'm losing her day by day. It just gets worse and worse, and I'm letting go of all of these things, life things that we did together and plans that we had. And for example, we had a lunch yesterday with our daughter Kate and her husband and Craig's brother, a Thanksgiving lunch, and it suddenly hit me, this is probably Heather's last ever Thanksgiving lunch. It's very well possible. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the last time she ever experiences Thanksgiving. So this is heavy stuff. That's the grief I'm talking about. So there's anxiety and grief, and then there's a physical tiredness as well from lack of sleep and worry and being on duty. You're carrying this ball around. And normally, I've gotten to the stage, and I think all of us who are surviving as caregivers, we can carry this ball. We're carrying this ball, and then other stuff comes in from out in the world. For me, on Thursday or Wednesday, whenever it was, the washing machine broke down. Well, that's a basketball flying at me. Normally, I can dribble these things. So the washing machine broke down. We're running out of groceries. That's another basketball. I can't get to the grocery store. I have other things on my plate now too. Like I have this talk at the Alzheimer's conference. That's a stressor for me. Working with somebody on some music, that's a stressor. It just is. This is the way I am. And so these balls are flying in, and normally I can dribble these things and sink a basket here and there, get rid of those so I can still carry this ball of anxiety and grief and all of that. But here's where the kicker comes in. This is the fly in the ointment, is that I've been on duty here pretty much on my own for almost 4 days. Most of Friday in the morning and the afternoon, evening, and night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and until 8 o'clock this morning. So normally I have some respite care. None of that. And these balls are coming in the whole time. So this ball here that I can normally carry, it takes my whole arm, and my arm's getting tired, and it takes a bit of effort to carry. This ball has swollen over these 4 days because I haven't been able to bounce away these other balls. I've been too preoccupied with this stuff and with caregiving. I haven't had the ability and the time and the space to dribble these balls and sink some baskets and get rid of them. So now I've got this ball, and I've got a bunch of other balls here too, and I'm starting to drop balls. That is how I felt this morning, yesterday, and Sunday as well. And that's just the best way I can describe it. So today I'm on my own until 2 o'clock. I have chores to do, but I'm going to be doing them alone and trying to regain that caregiver equilibrium, my caregiver equilibrium by being on my own. I've been here alone, caregiving for 4 days, so that takes 4 hours to recover. So, it's 9:30 now, 10:30, 11:30, 12, 1:30, and then Risa leaves at 2 o'clock. So I'll just be recovered at the end of the day by the time I'm back on my own. However, Kate comes tonight, so I can go play percussion and samba with my friends, which is like getting an injection of extra ball holding ability, or it's an injection that makes this ball get smaller again. It's like an anti-inflammatory for the big basketball that I carry around all the time. Does that make any sense to anybody? Or am I just rambling and babbling? I don't know. Thanks for humoring me, and hang in there. You're not alone. I'm not alone. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.